Let's go to Richard in Portland, Oregon. Richard, how are you?
Fine, and yourself, Basil?
I'm well, thank you.
Has your weather moderated?
It has moderated. We've got some rain. It has moderated. And all I can say is that this is the period where I start looking ahead. I feel the spring. I have to. I have no choice.
That's true, after what you've gone through.
Right. So you'd like to look at NGD, that's
Correct.
New Gold
New
Inc.
Gold Incorporated.
New Gold Incorporated. I need to ask you one question, and that is, do you have any position right now?
Yes, but I'm wondering whether I should stay in it, because looking at a one-year chart, it doesn't seem to be setting the world on fire here with gold holding so well. The stochastics look grossly oversold.
I tell you, I'm looking at a number of gold stocks, and there are some gold stocks that are just participating in the move up in gold, and they are doing really well. And then there are other gold stocks that are kind of ho-humming, as if to say, gold? Am I related to gold in some way? You wouldn't believe it, because they haven't moved very much at all. This NGD trading at $3.16, up 7 cents. What I'm going to recommend straight off the bat is I'm not sure that I would exit voluntarily, because the stochastic's at 7.28%, but is trying to turn up in the daily. The on-balance volume is improving, but not great, but is improving. And the MACD hasn't pulled back as dramatically as you would expect if you're looking at the price. And it has come off the low. If it was at the low of today, I'd say, you know what, this is not very good. But it's up 8 cents, is at $3.17. It's above the 3.10 kind of critical area. So I'm going to do two things here. One is, I'm going to say to you, you might find that you could put this money to better use, but you might get fewer shares in some other stocks that I'm not sure right now that I'd pick laggards in the golds, because if they haven't moved already, they might remain laggards. In other words, they would underperform. So that's something I would look at. I just run through the list, AU, AUY, all the lower price. I think that's a low price stocks.
Yeah, I was comparing it to BTG, Tango Gold, and that chart looks much better to me.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. So you have the same price, $3.07 just about, but this one is making higher highs and higher lows. The MACD is making this W formation. It really needs to see the price go to $3.17, and then I think the MACD will turn positive again. Stochastic is good, not great, but good. Now, on-balance volume isn't as good as the other one was. That's funny. But the weekly chart is making high lows. It's gone to an A. I'll do this quickly. A, B, yep, C, and here we are in D, leg D. Still holding very well. Monthly chart is starting to improve. You just solved my predicament here. I wasn't sure that I wanted to actually give you some names, because I need to do a little work before I actually threw out something. In the den, NGD has had fundamental problems, for what it's worth. The CEO was kicked out a few months ago. Okay, so that kind of explains it. So maybe it is getting ready to turn around, but it might be a little bit longer term to turn around. Yes, so what I'm going to say to you, let's just go back to NGD for a moment, because you've already identified one that is acting better. But what I do want to say is that my initial thought was, this is not failing, but it's not participating like it should. It will fail if it takes out the recent lows and it starts to trade. Let me give you a number. If it starts to actually trade in the 3.07 or lower area, that's 10 cents. Look, it just popped 8 cents. 10 cents down is nothing for this thing. So if it starts actually trading the 307 level, that's a real tough thing. I think that you got that H pattern that I always talk about in the weekly chart, and that makes the 293 level a potential. I am going to say to you this. If you can hold on just 2 more days. Why? Because gold, the GLD right now is up 28 cents. It really should be up about 38 to 52 as I'm looking at this now based on the dollar and other things. So it's acting okay, but not great. So if NGD is able not to, if it doesn't pull back to the 314 level between now and tomorrow, but instead actually tries to close above 390 in the 9-period moving average, be the first time that it's showing a little bit of strength. So I would use a raised stop on that. I'd make two decisions. I use a raised stop, but whatever happens, if you decide it's taken out, say today's low, and you're done with this stock, then you could think of taking that money and putting it elsewhere. But I'm also going to say, hey, why not think about this? Raise the stop on this one to a point where, say, 314, and that'll take you out. But do it on a half to 2/3 of the position, and then that money you could deploy so that you have a mix, and you could put it into what you were looking at before. What was that, BTG?
Correct.
Yeah, BTG. That's another way to do it. And then what you're doing, you're in like priced areas in the gold stocks, and you've got one that doesn't have fundamental problems like a CEO, and that kind of resolves the problem. And if NGD kicks in and does very nicely, you just raise your stop on that and you say, okay, that's fine, because at $3.18, you just need 345 and you're making 10, 12% already. So it's a nice percentage move. But on the downside, that's the same percentage that you would lose. So I'm saying don't sacrifice the downside on this, especially when gold is in play at this particular point. Does that help you a little bit?
Yes, it does, Basil. I appreciate it.
Okay. Good. And also keep your eye on GDX, which is where the gold miners are. It's trading okay. It made a peak C. It hasn't gone higher. I want to see it 23.74. I want to see by Friday at the latest. I want to see GDX above 24.20.
Okay.
And that'll help you, give you some sense of what your gold stocks should be doing.
Well, now
Hey,
GDX
thanks so much.
is mainly the bigger gold stocks, where
So you should be looking.
GDXJ is the junior gold
GDXJ,
mine.
you're absolutely right. I should have done that. I completely forgot about it. This is interesting. So the let me do this quickly. GDX. The GDXJ actually has a slightly better chart formation. I like this at 34.39. You want to see it at 35.10 within about 3 days, and that'll be very good action.
And actually, the GDXJ owns the BTG.
Oh, it does.
In
Okay,
one
good.
of the top 10 holdings.
So then you have a parallel move. That's good. That's what you want to see.
Okay.
Hey, good. Thank you so much for calling.
All right, Basil. Have a good day.
Okay. You too. Have good luck with your trade. We'll be back, folks. Dow's down 34. S&P.